book of notes here as well. Yes, I came a little bit prepared today.
Oh, man.
Okay.
You're probably filming all of this anyway, aren't you? Not. Are we
haven't cut. We haven't cut. Yeah. All right, so we'll roll. Hello, everybody. My name is Sethyjfox. Today I'm here with the illustrious Simon Mulligan, my professor.
Finally.
He's given me the opportunity to interview him today.
The very illustrious.
Yes,
Get
the
it
very
right.
illustrious. So I guess I'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourself.
Good heavens. Yes. Right now?
Right now.
Well, as you heard from Sethi. He's my student. I'm the proud professor of Seth Johnson. Now I know to call you Sethi. I've been calling you wrong all these years we've known each other.
So you play piano, I heard.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna run this out even longer today. Hello, everybody. I am. Yes, he doesn't even know my first name because I'm Professor Mulligan to him. I'm Simon Mulligan. You see, my real friends call me Simon, but you've got a long way to go before you. And I've enjoyed teaching Sethi here for, feels like years, but it's only been a few weeks because he's still trying to get it right. No, it's a great pleasure to get to know Seth here at the University of Maryland. And what's going on now?
I'm stealing one of your waves.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, he's nervous already.
It's hard work setting up, man. I was running back and forth.
As you can see, I'm very fussy about the dress code of those that interview me. They have to have a waistcoat or a vest.
Yeah, it's very formal in here.
Helping himself to my trash can there.
Yeah, you got any drinks for us? No.
That's who knows what's in the fridge. But yes, so here we are. And what do you want to know, eh? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. I play the piano. That's all I can do.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So on YouTube, a lot of the people watching know you as the concert pianist.
The
concert pianist. I have some questions about how your journey started. I did a lot of research to get here. Something that stood out to me was you started playing at 3 years old.
3 months old, in fact. 3 years old.
3 years old, yes. Okay, and your first teacher, Bobby Howlett?
Yes,
Bobby, she got upset with you because during a lesson, got upset with your parents because during a lesson...
she probably strangled me. No, she did.
You came there and you already knew how to read and play?
Yes, so we lived next door to Bobby, who taught piano. And I enjoyed hearing the piano from my house next door, and I was curious, and I asked if I could go in and blink away on the keyboard, and so I did, like this. And so she one day put me on the piano bench, and I could just do these weird things. I could read, and I had obviously small hands, and to me it just felt, well, yeah, of course I can read like you can. I was just meet the music, and so I didn't know that it was a bit of a nauseating thing to do as a young oik, a young sprog of a kid. So she did say to my parents, "Why isn't Simon learning with me? I only live next door." And they said, "Well, he's 3 and." So she said, "Well, I think you should start piano," and then I learnt modesty. My parents smacked it into me and said, "Don't you go showing off now," which now I do the showing off. All these kids, I don't get time to play the piano myself. It's all about me. That's all you're getting. Yes, so it was one of those very lucky things. She got me going, and then we moved house a few years later, and by chance lived next door to a violin teacher. So I was the grand old age of 6, and Bobby had suggested I go to someone else, and I did a few associated board exams with her, and then at age 6 I lived next door to Kamen, who taught me violin, and she introduced us all to my next piano teacher, who was dear Andrew Pledge, who's looking over us over here. Give me a big chubby thing, and dear Andrew, who we lost just a few months ago. We're standing on Deal Pier. This is where my parents retired to, on the Kent coast. France is just this way, you know, Calais. So that's Beach Street, and my parents had a house on Beach Street, and we're on the pier there in the sunset. Lovely, wonderful man. Miss him a lot. And we didn't talk at all about this man, who was my last teacher. Alexis Weisneberg.
Hi everybody, welcome to the 75th Salon Soirée selection on a very special day, July 26th, as this is the birthday of my dear piano teacher, another one of my dear piano teachers. This is a man, the last person to mentor me, and I'm talking of course about the great Alexis Weisneberg, whose picture you may be able to, he's up there, he's up on the wall looking over us here. He's elsewhere, he's everywhere. I had the great honour to study with Alexis and record his sonata in the jazz style, and he gave me carte blanche to improvise on these beautiful songs he wrote for an operetta. And I'd like to play one of those songs now. This is the title song of the operetta, and the operetta is called La Fugue, or Nostalgie, and this is Nostalgie. Happy birthday, Alexis.
Incredible concert pianist, big lover of jazz, and wrote all the jazz he heard in his head. He wrote it down. He didn't improvise, and I recorded his sonata in the jazz style, Sonate en état de jazz, for a CD for the Nimbus label. Gosh, 25 years ago, also I think, and every year I would go on this piano course he held in Engelberg in Switzerland. I met him in Italy when I was a student at the International Piano Foundation on Lake Como, and that was I was 20, 21, and he was one of the many wonderful concert pianists they'd have visiting to teach the students, and he and I just clicked, and we stayed in touch until he passed away, and he's great. It's all the twinkle in the eye. I've noticed all my, I haven't a picture of Alex, this is crazy, but all my teachers had that little sort of, you know, that little twinkle. So, dear Michael Kamen, he had that twinkle.
So Andrew Pledge, he was your second piano teacher?
Second teacher, yeah.
Well, I didn't want to jump too quickly past you being able to read at 3.
Yeah.
Do you know how that came to be? Were your parents musicians?
No, they certainly appreciated it. My mum worked at the BBC in the music and arts department, and my dad was a film cameraman. He had played tenor sax and clarinet in British dance band, so he was a musician, but I never really heard him play in my lifetime. And so they had some records, some vinyl, and would play things at night time. And I'd think, oh, I like this. I was just like a little sponge, and and my Auntie Bella, my great Auntie Bella, who ran some antique shops, would come to our house with piles of dusty sheet music and of all pop songs of all eras, all decades, and she'd say, here's Simon, and she sold us my very first piano, which was a Thomas Harper upright piano, and that's how I started. So this little piano, little upright, and I just would try and play what I could and soak it up, and if I couldn't, I couldn't stretch an octave, I could still stretch a sixth. So the Sting film hadn't been out long. It was released in 1973. I was born in 72, and so I play things like this. So for my small hands, I picked that up by ear from the film, and then we had Joshua Rifkin's recording of that piece of music, The Entertainer by Scott Joplin, and then, so anything with an octave in, I couldn't stretch. So I would turn them into sixth, and then I'd watch wonderful cartoons. I loved the Warner Brothers MGM cartoons, and would pick up songs from that, music from that, which of course was a lot of classical music they used in those fantastic shorts, and so I got to try and play Liszt's Second Hungarian Rhapsody. But I wasn't playing that at that young age. I would do, I'd make it a simplified arrangement. In fact, I didn't even put it in the right key. That was easier. I couldn't play it in C sharp. I was always loving improvising and loving all styles of music right from the very beginning. It wasn't just classical music. It was like everything from Victorian parlour songs that would be in this pile of sheet music to pop songs of the day, which was, I don't know, Cliff Richard and John Denver and Dolly Parton and some, all sorts of everything. Some British bands too. So Elton John and some Joe Cocker and that. So it was just like, whoa. My parents had eclectic tastes. It was nice. So grew up in a house of various things just being played on the record player already. Yeah.
Wow. So you started really early. It seems like it was just based on a love you had for music. That's why you continued.
It just felt like I should be doing this right from the beginning. As much as I'd like to have a proper job and get paid properly, but it would, I thought, here we are, freelance musician. My parents were freelance in the film business, so I just had a real love for just music, and as I got older, the old phrase, putting all your eggs in one basket. I just kept it going and was lucky to have some great teachers. I mean, from Andrew, when I was 13, he suggested I went on to another teacher. He'd had enough of me, he just sort of said, it's time for Simon to move on, and I was like, because lovely man, wonderful man, and but I kept on learning church organ with Andrew. He got me on the organ every Sunday. Good coordination, all that stuff. And he made sure I learnt the theory of music and knowing how to write it, and just harmony and all those things, the nitty-gritty stuff, and I enjoyed it. And but thankfully, my parents, I say thankfully, I could have been a lot to. They never pushed me. They never, said, "Oh look, our kid can play the piano. We're gonna." The word prodigy and all that stuff was not, no internet back then. They wouldn't have put me on YouTube. My mum and dad, no way. But they made sure I had a normal, upbringing, and well, now look at me, hardly normal. So it's it's that's the way it's gone. I went to a normal school, very academically driven school that had a wonderful music department, but my friends are just regular, people. So it's I like that.
Were you very social?
Social?
Yeah,
I hope so. I mean, I'm an only child,
Oh.
as you can tell. It's all about me. I know. Now look, I can't even make small talk.
Royal Academy of Music.
Royal Academy next.
Okay, so my notes say here you studied at the St. Paul's School. That was the normal school you went to, St. Paul's?
St. Paul's, yeah.
St. Paul's.
Yeah, it's an very old. It's a public-private school.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have. Well, I was lucky to get a music scholarship there when I was 8.
Oh, so you had a scholarship there, and then
Yeah.
you got another one for the Royal Academy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, my mum and dad. It was. They just lived day by day. It wasn't a sort of throw our money and get our son into this school. No, it was all, me. Lucky to be given scholarships, and that was it really. St. Paul's was great. I was at the junior school from 8, and then the senior school, St. Paul's, from 13 till 18.
Wow.
And while I was there, I started going 2 days a week to the Royal Academy of Music. I got out of sports. It was great.
So how did those two pieces begin to connect, where you were going 2 days a week at the Royal Academy?
Well, the school let me off sort of afternoon sports, so I'd get the train to the Royal Academy from Hammersmith in London, where the school is, and I'd have Saturday lessons as well with Alex Kelly at his home, which was near the school, conveniently. So, yeah, I mean, I still did my sort of school lessons and everything. I still got my qualifications there, but I guess I was doing more music, and then I was again with older students, of course. Everyone else was 18, 19 and above, and it was good for me though. It was good because Alex treated me never like a child. Neither did Andrew. I was just, made to feel guilty that I had small hands or not strong enough physique to sort of play some of the big sound that they wanted. Particularly Alex. It was, it was hilarious. Some lessons where he would just be sort of joyously sort of yelling, but more sound, more sound. Like, he had this wonderful voice as a Glaswegian man, and this wonderful full beard, very piercing, sort of twinkling eyes and glasses, and he was just this ball of energy. Lovely, wonderful gentleman, and it was that sort of okay, I'm 13, 14, and here's this man telling me to play with passion and all this. I hadn't had any school teacher, of course, throwing their arms around, and that's what I do now. I just throw my arms around and expect my students to make sense of it. So it's that same old thing. It was great to. I never felt the age I was. It was like that feeling of, okay, I'm going to do this, and it was I'd get frustrated and I'd get upset with myself, and but he was lovely. I was with him till I left the academy, and he sadly passed away far too young. And so, but he helped me with my first sort of professional engagements and recordings when I was like 18, 19, and so he didn't. He only encouraged it, and he didn't let my love of jazz didn't upset him either. That was important. In that Andrew and Alex, they knew I had a little jazz group, and enjoyed mucking around, but it keeps the technique supple. As long as I did my Hannon and Pishner exercises.
We've spoken about
that's
those.
it.
Yes.
That's it.
So, okay, let's take, have you seen Avengers?
Avengers?
Yes, the movie Superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, not all the Avengers.
Okay, well, there's a guy named Thanos. He's the main villain. He's got the gauntlet with the stones.
Yeah.
Let's treat your teachers like they all give you stones. So what did you get from Mr. Alexander that you now carry into your playing? You mentioned passion, but...
There's my stones.
There you go.
My
you got a lot
beads.
more than, I think he had 5 or 7, but you got a lot more stones.
My jasper beads. From Alex Kelly, I took quality of sound. I say that to myself every day. I say it to the guys here. Just making a full sound. As if you're playing to the back of the hall, and Alex had the word ping, P-I-N-G, which is a special ping, and it's a sort of, well, many ways of making the ping sound, but it was all about projecting the tone, getting that cantabile singing quality from the piano, from any piano. So don't just rely on the piano to do the work. It's your friend on the stage, and you have to sort of work together and, right, okay, we're going to enjoy this piece of music or whatever you're playing, and so he really got me into the music. He really sort of let me think on my own, as it were. He never told me how to play certain things. He'd say, work out something there. And he rarely sat down and played. You know, there were 2 pianos in his teaching room, like I have here. And he would just occasionally lean down and he'd just describe things, and often with words that can't be broadcast for children. But, you know, it was very visual and very, the arms and suddenly I was, okay, how about this? And yeah, it's weird at first because you're a teenage guy, like, okay, all right, this guy's like, I mean, it was fantastic, but it was like a bit, all right, let's instead, bit by bit, and but I came to feel that I got so much out of him. I mean, I was with him for 7, 8 years, and he and Andrew really set me up, in terms of a foundation, like a base of what I enjoyed as a sound on the piano, and a technique that was assured but supple, and that helped the jazz styles, and they help each other to this day, I think. Yeah, Alex was. I didn't talk about beads. Sorry, man.
It's all good. That's all. It seems like you had a lot of support. One thing I will say is that element of letting your students kind of just, like you said, he says, feel something in there. That's something I like about your teaching, is that you leave room for expression, and also you're very animated, and maybe you talk with your hands, and it brings life to. Because you're my first piano teacher. Second.
Really? All right.
First and a half. I've had half kind of teaching.
I didn't know that.
You're my first piano teacher. Yeah, so I like that you kind of leave space.
Yeah, it's important, especially for creation in jazz improvisation and harmony, and you've got to find it yourself, and that's the joy of it, and not being nervous to find it either. Yeah. And there are plenty of classical piano teachers that will insist on it has to sound like this, or it has to be this fingering or this, and I'm a big believer in letting the pupil, the student, find, I'll guide and I'll make things easier and more enjoyable. It must always be enjoyable. So thanks. Yeah, space. Definitely need to think for yourself, and you've heard me say in studio class or in your own lesson, to just sort of own the piece, make it your own, because whether it's Autumn Leaves or Fur Leaves of Beethoven or whatever the piece of music, it's here to stay, and everyone will be playing it.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm going to play it now, so how can I do it? How do I want to do it? And it's knowing that there's more than a lifetime's worth of wonderful music out there, of course, but having that fresh approach every time is important. So you're never going through the motions. I'd hate that. I'd hate someone to say, "Oh, you just sounded like you were just dialing it in," or those sort of phrases. And especially in jazz, it's a musical conversation with your fellow musicians or with the piano. You're like, "Oh, that voicing came out differently, therefore I'll do this," or you're just making little happy computations in your head.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Say yes.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh, all the time. Every day. What was the first piece that you did something like that with, where you felt like you really made it your own?
Oh, it sounds it's a pompous thing to say, isn't it? But my love of transcribing and doing my own thing stems from piano duets, really. I mean, Bobby had a book of piano duets, and one was called My Pink Parasol. Strolling along with my pink parasol, and it's such a lovely tune, and the piano accompaniment went like that, and I just, oops. And I decided to play both parts at the same time, and because I wanted to, it's like, I love playing duets with my teacher, but very important. I mean, duets are so important to learn the repertoire and just to play with your teachers. Great. And so that was my first sort of transcription, I guess. And of course it was like, wow, you're playing both parts at the same time. Well, I was just making it manageable. I wasn't like, I still wanted to make it fun, and it was a little simple tune. I don't think I did that octave lead. I probably did something like that. I made it my own. Yeah, and now to this day, as you know, I like transcribing things, everything from pop songs written today to the earliest, Renaissance twiddles, anything. I love. It's an orchestral instrument here, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool. I keep seeing your that plaque you got over there, that Royal Academy of Music plaque.
Yeah, it's fake.
Oh, I figured. Yeah. All right, so back on that, man. So we got Simon Mulligan went there. Professor Mulligan went there. You got Jacob Collier.
You can say Simon.
Jacob Collier, one of my favorite guys.
Sure.
Elton John.
Yeah.
I want to hear about your experience. Is it like some magical place where musicians come out a new, transformed kind of way? Or like, what is the actual experience of being there like?
Being where?
At the Royal Academy.
Oh, Royal Academy. Well, I was there for Alex, and obviously it's a very well-known institution in the world, and I had a wonderful time with Alex, and I made some great friends, string players and woodwind players and brass players, and I was only there, I wasn't living in student accommodation because my family home was only about half an hour down the road, so it made more sense. I got on fine with my mum and dad and had a piano at home, so I'd commute or drive. You could drive into London quite easily then and park. And in my old Renault 5, my first little car. Yeah, so the experience was, I did enjoy it. There was some bumps along the way in that I was told I could switch courses and I couldn't, but in the end they kindly a few years later gave me the fellowship, awarded me that, which is their highest sort of honorary thing, and so I collected that at ceremony. Same year, same ceremony as Annie Lennox and Peter Maxwell Davis were there. They all got given the FRAM, the Fellowship with the Royal Academy of Music as well. Well, I guess it's. I love what you have here because you've got a huge facility with 7, 8 concert halls under your feet, literally down the hall. Yeah, rooms with bursting with Steinways, and I didn't get involved as much in what else was going on because the Royal Academy of Music is it's expanded since I was there, but it's a big, lovely, townhouse, big, huge building on Marylebone Road in London. So it's in the middle of town, near Baker Street. And here you've got acres of lush fields and other buildings, and so I think what Maryland has to offer is wonderful. And I feel young coming here. Oh yeah, you're in a great place here. Thanks to me, yeah. It's all because of...
Well, I have a question. So, because I've done some research and I've heard about your achievements and all
these things. Dear, it's all lies. Yeah, you've got loads of things written down.
Why do you play music, and what was your aim with it? Did you have a goal?
It feels the most natural thing, and I feel very blessed to have just been put on this planet for that. And there was no... why do I play? I feel lucky, very lucky, and every day I'm very grateful. I'd like to be a better businessman, Like I didn't even negotiate my huge fee for this anyway. See, I'm terrible. He's a better businessman. So I just like to play, and it's feels normal. Yeah, it really was. Back at my primary school, or ABBA's Money, Money, Money. You know that song? It's a rich man. Yeah. Well, it's a very big pop song of the 70s, and I'm not sure what mid-70s it came out. I was young when it came out, and I remember showing that to my friends at kiddie school. I said, look, it's just these 3 notes. It's a 3-note tune, like all good tunes, And they're like, whoa, how can you do that? And I went, well, I didn't want to show off. I really wasn't saying, oh, look at me, look, Yeah. And sure enough, my primary school before St. Paul's junior school was a very academic place which was down the road from where we lived, and I was doing French and Latin when I was 4, and very pushy, and I had very little music, and there was a upright piano in the corner of one of the classrooms, and I remember everyone was out in the playground, and I asked the teacher if I could just stay and play, and she said sure, And I was just playing for myself, And the headmaster came in and with his cane just didn't slam the lid on my things, but certainly shut it, causing me to go like that. And I'll never forget that. And he said, I don't think we'll have any of that. And I thought, I don't like this. So next thing, my parents were like, okay, you need some music. That's normal upbringing. So that's when my parents took me out of there, and I went to the junior school of St. Paul's. So and now look at me, I'm a nervous wreck.
So
no more fingernails.
That sounds like kind of a negative experience a little bit, at least in him closing it. But what's been your coolest musical experience?
I'm still waiting for that. I mean, yeah,
Play with me!
Apart from teaching Seth, is that your name? I've forgotten. Yeah, is that
Sethyjfox.
Yeah, okay. You'll have to remind me later. It's, yeah. Coolest, wow.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky, really have. The musicians I've got to work with, and I mean, in the classical world, the cellist Lynn Harrell, fantastic musician, and the violinist Joshua Bell. I toured with each of those recital tours for years. My first concerts in America with those gentlemen, and went to Asia and South America and around Europe, and I credit them as getting more out of my playing, of course, because they're obviously wonderful, experienced concert performers, and we're playing repertoire by sonatas by Beethoven, Rachmaninoff cello sonata, Kreutzer sonata of Beethoven for violin, piano, and without them, they weren't telling me how to play the piano, but they could each make such wonderful sounds on their instrument. I thought, I'm going to have to learn some new sounds here. Yeah. Develop my technique. It wasn't just like, So it was what Alex had shown me, and then I was like, thinking, what do I need to do to get, a sound that's still a wholesome sound that's still going to be heard at the back of the hall, but it says pianissimo. So how am I going to make it really soft and be heard? And so that was a nice challenge, and because you obviously you don't want to play louder than the violin or the cello playing really quietly. So you thought, I've got to support this somehow, and so I learned some new techniques there. So they were cool people to work with. Concert-wise, well, with Josh and I, we played the Grammys, 2002, the year Alicia Keys won 5, I think. Yeah, it was that. And I met everybody there, as you can imagine, and I've had piano bench collapse on me in a concert. My first professional orchestral tour with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Put a poster up there for the second concert, but the night before that concert, I was playing in Gstaad, Switzerland, to live everything, and the piano bench was just had a central piston thing, so it was like a chair on that. It wasn't 4 legs, yeah. These are good old wooden legs, but this. It was a bit like that office chair there. So, and I'm playing Tchaikovsky's first piano concerto, with all the big opening chords, and the orchestra come in with a tune, and it sort of just broke on the right-hand side, and I'm like playing like this, and eventually I was putting it on, trying to get it straight again and carry on playing, not that there's much break for the soloist, and when the orchestra comes back in with that tune, then it was fine. I thought, oh, great. And I'm sitting there, and then I come in with the same tune, and as I start, and then it completely collapsed, and I ended up like this, down on this knee, and my chin almost hit the keys here, and now I can look back on it and laugh, but it was just the most weird sensation, because I had to sort of stand up, and and not everyone in the audience could see what had happened. I thought maybe they think I've forgotten the music or what's happening, and so that was a real test of the old concentration, and but to stop in the middle of it's like a no man's land situation. It's weird. You think like, I should be hearing this piece of music right now, but we just stopped. It's like the plug had been pulled. Wow. So that wasn't really cool, I guess. No, what's another cool thing?
You told me a story, I think it was our first trial lesson when we first met. You were talking about, I think you were with Bob Dylan and Stevie Wonder or something like that at a hotel.
Yeah, that was the Grammys, yes.
Oh, that was the Grammy night?
Yeah, well, it was the day before or the day of. It was earlier in the day, and we were all at the Beverly Hotel in Beverly Hills, and I mean, many, you know, everyone's there, and I just remember I'd come from getting a bit of lunch, going back to my room, and I heard over the loudspeakers Stevie's Summer Soft. Do summer song, yeah. And I thought, oh, right, this isn't the album version I know. I said, wait a minute, that sounds live. You know, and I just sort of followed my ears and my nose. And as I'm walking out of his room comes Bob Dylan, and he's like, where's that music coming from? And we're like, let's go and find out. I'm thinking, oh God, this is crazy. And we just like followed the steps down to this ballroom downstairs, you know, and they were setting up a stage, and there's Stevie just sound checking, just having fun. Wow. And it's like, of course, yeah. And that was obviously for some event that he was doing. It was so little random things like that. Yeah. I wonder if Bob Dylan remembers that.
Yeah. Is there somebody that you would want to collab with, like past or present, that you haven't?
Gosh, Jacob Collier. Yeah.
Jacob Collier. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that'd be really, really cool.
My birthday this Friday as well.
Wow.
So don't you forget. All right.
So I gotta hurry this up and get it out by your birthday then.
Oh.
It'll be that quick.
Oh,
wow.
how lousy of me to make a Freudian slip. Well, no, they're both not Freud. They're both great musicians.
Yeah.
Jacob Collier, JC, 2 JCs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who would I like to work with? Jacob Collier, yes, certainly. Wonderful musician and lovely.
If you guys do work together, call me. I would like to be there.
All right. I'll think about it. Yeah.
Just consider.
Yeah, no, I put up with, you know, passing on my bad habits to all these people younger than myself, all these younger generations. But I just, I'm not, there are no secrets in my leg. I love to pass it on, let it flow onwards. And, gosh, it was fun to, I don't know, some of the musicians from the Grammys, it was lovely. With Josh Bell, I worked with Sting. I value him, I respect him very much. But from the past, I was lucky to meet Quincy Jones a few times.
Wow.
Didn't work with him sadly, but got him to sign his name on a fax sheet. Wow. We were both. I was playing at this event, and he'd organised, and Quincy Jones, Duke Ellington, people who just anyone in the music world that pioneers so many, it develops new sounds, new rhythms, different rhythms, harmonies. Wow. Like Beethoven, you know, kind of people who weren't set in their ways. Yeah. You know, just thought, I'll try a bit of this. I'll do, you know. So just not being narrow-minded, just staying open-eared about it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about your music. Yeah.
My music.
So you
finally.
Simon Alliance. Yeah, he booked me to talk. No, I'm kidding.
Honestly.
You have the Simon Alliance. You have the theme song you made for Steven Spielberg's show.
Yes, Band of Brothers. That's right.
Band of Brothers. Well, I guess first, what's the first song that you composed, and I guess what's the story behind it?
Wow. There's a piece called My Old Mum. Yeah. It's a work of genius. That has never been recorded.
Wow.
Yeah, My Old Mum at my Opus 1. You did ask me for a piece. I was writing little jazz tunes, for my school jazz group.
Yeah.
We're still best of friends. It's lovely, you know. We're still churning out the same tunes. I'm going to give them to you to play now.
Cool.
You'll be like, oh, this is so 80s, this piece of music.
My old mom.
So 90s. Oh, that, my old mom. Yeah, that is early 70s, yeah. You can hear the disco undertones here. Yeah, I mean, I've always loved composing in all styles and never pushed it, you know, never... I mean, the collaboration I had with dear Michael Kamen on the Banner Brothers television series, and that was unforgettable. It was I had known Michael a couple of years, and he lived not far from me with his family in Notting Hill in London, and he asked me to work with him on this. You're like, okay, yeah. I mean, it was. The first, I think it was the very first television epic mini-series, you know, big hour-long episodes, however long each one is. That hadn't been done before that. And, powerful stuff. So, and we wrote the main theme together, and it's 25 years ago this year since we wrote that, and it came out in 2001, the show. And it's the first, first role for many, leading actors now. It was beautifully done. I had my old school friend, Jamie Bamber, was in it. The actor Damien Lewis is in it. His children went to my son's same school as my son years ago, so it's like, it's nice to go up to him and introduce myself, and lovely show, really powerful, and I recorded it just the other day for Veterans Day, but my piece, I mean, even now I'm writing little things just for fun. I'm doing a lot of transcribing and arranging. Savannah Festival next year. I'll be arranging some Johnny Mercer songs for string quintet and piano and voice. My wife's going to sing, come along to that. That's late March, April, and I like sort of hearing other versions of how things can sound in my head. Like, I hope you hear voicings, and you, in your creative film work, you visualise, don't you? Yeah. You see the angles and you throw your arms around like me. I hope it's very important.
Yeah. So, what's on your music bucket list nowadays?
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. All sorts of things. Yeah, I'm not in a... Well, Joshua Bell and I made our Carnegie Hall debut in April 2004.
Oh, the year was gone.
And there we are. Yeah. In April?
No.
Oh.
February.
Well, you see, we were commemorating your few-month anniversary.
Yes.
And I'd love to play a solo recital there. I'd love to. It was nice. I flew my dad out from London for that, and cousins came, but that's on the bucket list. I'd love to get back into film music. I really would. I enjoyed the very few sessions I've done when I was living in London. Never done any session work over here. But I don't know.
Would you score a film of mine?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Very expensive. I should think you should.
How much do you charge? We'll talk about it later.
It could be 2 cups of tea.
Yeah.
I'm running low on tea bags here.
What would you play for your solo recital at Carnegie Hall? Like, what would you bring to play? That's a big...
Well, I'd like to do 2 recitals. I'd like to do a very sensible classical recital. Well, one of you know, people would be bored by the time I'd finished hours later playing all the classical romantic repertoire I'd love to play, and then do a concert of all jazz genres and with some, you know, Gershwin, Leonard Bernstein in between, and, you know, make it a whole journey of it. Yeah, I would. I mean, the Carnegie lends itself to all styles. It, of course, timeless, famous recitals have taken place there from piano soloists and famous jazz concerts too. So I don't know. But if they were to call up, I'd be ready to play this afternoon. Well, this evening.
Yeah.
3:15. Yeah.
That's on my bucket list as well.
We could.
Okay, so from a student perspective, I'll have some questions. Like, I am your student, so I have you full time. Viewers might not have you full time. So
this is my valuable break. Oh no, now we're in your lesson time.
Oh, perfect. This is the good stuff. Okay, so what's something that you practiced that transformed your playing?
Exercises.
Exercises.
Yeah, practicing. Yeah, the exercises of Hannon and Pishner.
Have you gone through the whole Hannon book?
Yeah. You sort of. What have I given you? Anything?
Hannon? Yeah, you gave me Hannon and Pishner.
Yeah.
Exercise 1 and 2.
They work. Oh, I'll let you move on maybe if it's good enough. Yeah. But you're allowed to. Well, these two go very well together. It's what Andrew gave me, and it just builds up independence and agility and dexterity and all those words. Independence of each finger, because, as you know, these 4th and 5th fingers on each hand are naturally weaker than our old claws here, and but when we want to play a tune, it's best to play it with those fingers, so we can put some harmony in with these fingers.
Yeah.
And bass line, I mean, we could play tunes like this, but then you're limited. So making use of all cat claw marks. So hence these exercises build up strength in the weaker fingers, and Pishner's particularly wonderfully ferocious. It makes you sort of hold down things and lift this, and then make a coffee of that thing, and then do that, and then it's very it really makes you focus on what actually is going on in the fingers. Really, like, rather than like hoping for the best, just know what do I need to do here. You know.
Yeah.
I think when we're having lessons with our teacher, a lot of it is too much like, oh, I'm just going to play, and then, okay, do it again. You know, if you can, rather than hoping for the best, actually know how you're going to play, so you know your hands that well, or your brain, the muscles, or all the movement you do going on here. If you can really focus on that, then you're more likely to make the sound you want to hear. You know. Yeah. Technique, big fan of technique.
What was your biggest musical obstacle, and how did you overcome it?
My biggest musical obstacle, gosh, I haven't been asked that one for like 3 hours since my last interview. God, has he got anything new to say? My biggest no, that's a great, well, as I say, I feel very lucky what I've been able to, you know, what I'm still churning out, and it was, I'm going to have to think about that. Biggest musical obstacle?
Yeah.
Well, aside from piano benches collapsing in concerts and...
Yeah. We heard how you overcame that one. Yeah.
I had to jump, No, my health has been good, thankfully, and I look after the hands like everyone should look after their hands. I mean, I'm not overly precious with anything. But don't know. I don't really. There should be one, shouldn't there? Yeah. I mean, I think learning how to not let music be your entire life is important. You know, this whole sort of lives, breathes music. No, I don't. I mean, I love normal things, and I have other interests, but I guess well, there are plenty of mountains to climb musically. Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's all easy. It's just I'm hungry for it. But obstacles, I don't. Maybe I should have more goals. You know, I have plenty, but I don't. There's enough going on in our daily lives to sort of, you think, well, that's enough of an obstacle. Yeah. You know, I don't. Thankfully, music doesn't present itself. I don't think of music and obstacles going together. You know, I don't think, oh, I wish I could. Oh, why can't I do this? Why can't I? You know, I just think, oh, I wish I had time to learn this piece, or to perform this, or to work with that musician, or I wish I had more time. Yeah. So the obstacles are more happy frustrations, I think. You know, but I don't regret anything. You know, I don't think I should have stayed playing the violin. I played the oboe for a long time because Andrew played oboe, and I respected him. So I don't. I dabbled, got to know other instruments of the orchestra, so I could write for them and know basic things. But I could say, I wish I'd got into film composing or playing more, or I wish I'd done conducting. But I like to say it's never too late. Yeah. You know. You know, someone was asking the other day about my conducting. Wow. Yeah. It's so that's on the horizon, I think. Cool. Yeah, rather than an obstacle. I don't think of it as an obstacle.
I like that perspective.
Yeah. I keep the joy. Yeah. Yeah.
So what would you say to, it could be any age, but what would you say to your younger self now? Because we can say it, but whisper, 52.
Oh, I'm 52. I don't have qualms about my age.
Nice. I feel like that's great.
Music keeps us young, you know.
It does. Yeah. But what would you say
that Herbie Hancock concert, I'm sorry but he jumped onto stage. He jumped. And at the end, he was jumping around with his keyboard, you know, and with the musicians and just smiling. And I thought, that's what I want to be doing.
So cool.
At 86, 86, 87, whatever. Yeah. I mean, just great. You just, all aspects of, I hope he plays all right. Of course he's going to play all right. So I hope, I look up to him and other musicians that I work with, some older musicians, older than him, and they're fantastic, It's music, we know how it's good for tackling the awful ailments that plague us all, in our older age, and whether it's Parkinson's or dementia or Alzheimer's, and music just brings it all. It's there. It's like a beeline thing. It's like I think we're all hot-wired to a good tune, so it keeps us young. Yeah, it does. And I know I'm not the only person to say that. But
Was there anything you'd say to your younger self?
Oh, sorry. With my younger self, gosh, I'd say, get some more sleep. I'm meant to be taller. Yeah, I think my mum gave me black coffee at a too early an age. No, I guess it was. Well, certainly take your time. Yeah, don't rush. Rush when you're excited, but not rush when you're stressed. Yeah. And learn to, I'd say, don't worry about things out of your control. I used to get frustrated, being late for something, and so we all learned to be more on time and punctual, and I mean, you were only 1 minute late today, so, but I won't go on about it, but yeah.
I was running for the door.
No, it's, yes, I'd say that. I'd say get some more sleep, don't worry so much, and eat your greens. Do more drawing. I miss drawing. I used to do a lot more. My dad was a wonderful artist. He just painted for fun, and my mum too. She made pottery. This was in their retirement, and here I am playing a dead-end job where you can't afford to retire. You're just going to keep playing the piano, So I'm like, well, I need to, But I would say to my younger self, get more, keep up some other interests. Yeah. Not that I ever practiced hours and hours a day, but be grateful. That's what I'd say. And optimism keeps it going. That's it. We ran out of words.
That's all we've got.
Is that it? You ran out of... I was just getting warmed up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now you know too much.
Is there anything else you want to...
Sign here. Sign there now. Look into the light and zap.
Anything else you want to say?
No, look, I'm wasting your lesson time, aren't I?
Oh, yeah, what time is it? It's all good.
Sorry, it's coming up to 3:30.
Yeah, 3:30. This is your moment. You've got the world. Anything you want to say?
World.
You've got the whole world.
Hello, world. Thank you, Seth. Enjoyed that.
Thank you. Cool. Awesome.
Good questions. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. I did a little bit of research, tried to, ask some, at least go into, because I read your bio and I saw a lot of things. I'm like, let me bring this to life. Let's hear the stories behind, what you got on there.
You realize it's all lies. I have to make it up.
I figured.